In this episode of Little Scoop, we sit down with Nicole, the sole owner of County Creative, an art gallery, pottery studio, and event space in Picton, Ontario. Nicole shares how she left a corporate career to bet on herself and her community. She opens up about the realities of running a physical experience-based business. The conversation gets personal, and Nicole shares an exciting peek at what's next, and leaves listeners with the truth every small business owner needs to hear. No one can replicate the person behind the brand. Welcome, Nicole from County Creative.
Thank you.
We're
so excited.
We're so stoked.
Thanks for bringing all the setup here.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for letting us take over the downstairs.
It's
Anytime.
So pretty, though.
Anytime.
It's actually my first time in here.
Oh, wow.
But there's also the pottery.
We have pottery wheels as well, just on the other side of the
So
black
cool.
wall there. Yeah.
I love it.
Let's go through, like, we want to know about you. We want to know about how you got started.
Okay.
And just like all the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
Okay. So I grew up in Prince Edward County because my family cottage was here. So I've kind of lived here for 4 to 6 months of the year for my whole life. It was my mom's cottage growing up, but I'm from Belleville. And then I sort of moved away, went to school. I went to Waterloo and worked in Toronto for a bit. Hated my life in this city. And then the opportunity kind of came up to open County Creative. And I took 2 weeks to think about it, quit my corporate job, made the way back here. And I've kind of loved my life ever since here. I actually live right upstairs, so I have this cute little county life happening, which is adorable. Really thankful for it. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it's been a journey.
When you were working in corporate, what was it that you actually did? Was it what you went to school for?
So I went to Waterloo for business and social development studies because business is people. We all know this. Yes. And I kind of found myself in administrative roles, so executive assistant, broker support, branch manager for mortgage companies and real estate companies, which is funny because my parents are in that industry, so it's kind of like a natural progression. But yeah, I kind of always found myself in these lead admin roles. So when I came to kind of wanting to do my own thing, I was like, wait, I've kind of been doing it all along behind the scenes. So if I can do it for somebody else, I can definitely do it for myself.
Yeah, I feel like you are just naturally more passionate when it's something for yourself. Obviously, it's difficult because you have to manage all of the roles, not just being physically on site, but all the admin stuff that you were already doing.
Yeah.
It becomes a lot, but I feel like when you are passionate about it and when it's something you love and enjoy, it does make it a lot easier to manage, I guess.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I think showing up for yourself is harder, but also so much easier as
more
well.
rewarding.
Oh God, yeah.
And you co-own this space.
I'm actually the sole owner.
You're now the sole owner?
Yes,
Okay.
So I've always been the sole owner.
So
no, that's
co-founder.
okay. Yes. So I own County Creative as a whole, but Lori Meebor curated the gallery.
Okay.
So she's the person that brought the gallery to life, but I am the owner.
That's amazing,
Art
Nicole.
gallery, pottery studio, the whole thing.
That's
it's been a journey,
amazing.
Absolutely. But
before you got into this, did you own anything else or have any aspirations to own something of your own?
Well, my parents are both business owners, so I feel like I kind of grew up in the world of, I want to say craving freedom, but owning a business is not, not exactly the opposite, but kind of, watching them growing up, I kind of thought that was normal, right? Oh, this is what I'm going to do one day. How I was going to get there, not sure, but I definitely envisioned a life for myself where I had, creative freedom. So but until the opportunity really came up, I never even thought, oh, this is something I'm going to do. It was it came up and I was like, I can do this. Yeah. And that's kind of how it happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then naturally I have 5,000 square feet here. So partnering with Lori to help me open the gallery was kind of how I could see myself taking on such a big journey. But originally I just wanted to be a pottery painting studio because I was like, I can do that. But the space that came available was a little bit big for that. But now honestly that the operation has grown so big, I'm like, I need more space.
Yeah.
So
and how long have you actually owned this studio for?
So I opened June 2024.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
2 years and it's just exploded.
Yeah. So I quit my job in April of 2024, moved home, opened by June. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like I know I'm hitting my 3rd summer, but really just hitting my 2-year mark of the journey ultimately.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like obviously you were explaining how in that short time you've already gone from just starting out to being this thriving county staple, I would say. There's so many people that come from all over now to do this. And like, I love that you mentioned that it's the gloomier, like colder days that get people in.
Yeah.
Do you find that the tourist season also affects that? Even though like obviously winter's colder and gloomy, do you find that like once the summer kind of comes to an end, does it sort of dip for you?
I would say my local community is what pushes me through all seasons. You know, I have about a 40% returning customer rate, and those are the people keeping me through every season. Although, you know, tourism is great. It's like the splurge, and then, you know, you go back to reality. But we, you know, when opening this, people are like, oh, you know, the winter's really scary, and you get scared to open a business in Picton because you hear, oh, it's just seasonal, you know, you're gonna have to lay your employees off, or there's not gonna be a lot of work. I actually quite literally have the opposite problem. You know, people go to the beach in the summer, but ultimately, if it is really hot, we also find that people are still, you know, still wanting to go to the beach or staying inside. So I'm almost more impacted by really hot weather than I am cold weather. People are like, oh, let's go out in the snow, let's travel. You know, people aren't as scared to drive in the snow when they're from here. So I haven't really been impacted by the winters, which is absolutely amazing in Prince Edward County. And then, you know, bringing up and everything up and down the stairs became a little much. And I didn't even host an event until February of 2025. So, like, that's been very short as well, almost a full year of hosting events, which is now what I would say is kind of what people come for the most.
What's the most demand you have in an area? Is it the creating their own pottery here, doing classes, hosting parties, or just the drop-in paint a piece?
Well, I actually went somewhere in Belleville, and they asked me, oh, what do you do? I said, oh, I own County Creative. He said, the place with the goats.
What?
Because you have all these events.
Bring in goats and bunnies here in the studio.
That's so fun.
It's by far our most popular event. But the fact that somebody said, oh, the place with the goats? I was like, well, the pottery too. But also Heal with Horses is who we partner with. They have their own farm. But that's kind of our most popular event. It's just such a crowd pleaser. It's also so fun. I get excited to host it because everybody has such a good time. But yeah, we bring in 2 to 3 goats, some bunnies, the odd time the pig, if the pig wants to get in the car on the way. So it's super chaotic, but yeah, we typically always have a full house for that, and we host it anywhere from 2 to 4 times a month. So that's 100% our most popular event. But with just launching Pottery Wheel, it's kind of just picking up. Not even sure where it will go yet, but it's a great add-on for people that have painted a lot with us that, you know, want to do something else or try something else.
What is like your most, not prized, but like popular item?
Oh, yeah.
Probably a berry basket.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like people really like functional dishware. I think I also have a target market of honestly young adults and adults, although kids are great and they have so much fun. People, you know, I created this space because I would have wanted something like this, and I still want something like this. So I feel like our functional dishware is our top selling items because people want it for their home, and they keep adding to the collection. Then they come and paint a matching butter dish, or, you know, we have egg cartons. Yeah, honestly, functional dishware.
So cool.
Yeah, which I wouldn't have anticipated. I thought it would be like really fun.
Yeah.
Cowboy
Like
boots,
Yes,
decor.
totally.
I'm looking around though, and I'm just like, okay, I want to paint that. I want to paint that.
I want to paint everything.
They're so cute.
The event that you host, it's so fun.
Yeah, we hosted here in Montana.
Yes.
And we encouraged people dressing up. And I would say 50% of the people that came dressed up.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, wow, I've created a space where people feel comfortable enough to wear a wig. Like, I absolutely love that. I just love that it's like such like an environment where we are not judging you. We are encouraging you.
I think that's a testament to yourself too, like to the business that you've built. You've created a space where people feel safe.
Thank you.
Yeah. What, like, because I know you were coming here throughout your lifetime, but what was it that drew you to the county and wanting to open a business in the county?
Yeah. Well, growing up here, you also realize there's not a whole lot to do, like indoor activity based. So I would say that the sense of community that Picton offers, like in Toronto, you're so small, you know, you go outside, you know no one. Well, you hope you don't because you're like, I'm wearing my pajamas. But here in Picton, you know, you go outside, you see so many familiar faces. We go to eat, we know everybody that works there. So I feel like that's kind of the community experience that I was craving. And I was like, I need to do something purposeful. I can't sit at this desk anymore. So when I made the move back home, I didn't have culture shock, which I feel like people might when they first moved here, just like, you're going to shop at the same 3 places, you're going to eat at the same 5 places that you like, and you're going to know everything that's going on. But that's something I really wanted. And I also wanted to contribute to that. I wanted to do different things. I wanted to bring, different events to the community that I want to attend, that I would have wanted to attend when I was growing up here. Because before, I think almost like Base 31 as well, there's really no indoor activity. And, I grew up at a time where we also, didn't have TV at my cottage and don't have a phone. So it's like, I feel like I'm young, but I'm kind of aging myself, but it's like, I had nothing to do. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I need to kind of venture home and do something really meaningful.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel the world has become very isolating. And everyone's kind of trying to do their own thing in their own little bubbles, but Picton is not like that. It's so community driven, and everyone truly is supportive of each other. And I feel like that is the perfect community to bring a creative business to. And
100%.
I'm so glad it's thriving.
Yeah, thank you. The whole county is so amazing that way because no one's scared to refer you, recommend you. And I think that's what makes it so different. I never feel like I'm competing with anyone. I'm like, oh my gosh, let's do this together. Or, I was planning all my summer events already, and it's not, I'm never thinking, how can I do the best? It's kind of like, how can we all do the best? And how can I be a part of, something bigger? I kind of just like ultimately love that about Picton, that it's like we were just talking, I'm like, oh, on rainy days, like send to County Creative. On summer days, of course, go to Slickers. And growing up, my sister worked at Slickers. I wanted to work at Slickers. So I'd be like, what's your dream job? I want to work at Slickers. I want to wear the apron. Like, really was.
So okay, we're going to get her in for a day. She's going to come to
Oh my God, I would actually love that.
Fun.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I need to go get a job. Sometimes I literally think that. I'm like, okay, I have a job, but
isn't like your only day off today?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, you're working 6 days a week.
Yes. But evenings.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
How do you have such an incredible work ethic? Do you think that's just been like something that you've always carried with you?
Definitely my parents, 100%. I've watched them work so hard my whole life. They're a little bit older, still not retired. Actually, my mom retired last week.
Okay.
But
Exciting.
Congrats. But my parents, I don't think my dad will ever retire. So I think I definitely 100% got it from them. But then also I thrive in that type of environment. It's like
we're just like go.
Yeah. Like 100%. I can't imagine not being like this now.
I feel like you're in this business at such a good time where this like focus back to community and, really taking something on that's not technology driven is really huge. And I think it's just going to continue to explode as people crave these interactions more. Like, did you do market research before you got into this?
I did a little market research. Okay. What's in the area, and at the time there was nothing in Quinte West, so I was kind of the first physical pottery painting studio to open up. I'm sure there had been, I actually heard there was something called Art U Creative back in the day, and everybody went to this lady's basement, and I actually ended up meeting someone related to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, everyone tells me about how they remember going to their basement and doing pottery painting. She cried. It was so cute. She was like, it just didn't work out in the long run. Anyway, I ultimately just knew there was nothing like this. So I just took the leap of faith and hoped that I was kind of the only one in the game at the time. But knowing that, other people are going to see the success and the need and the demand for creative experiences. And I feel that it is hard to do this when everything is online because I can't sell a product online. Right. People have to come to you. And I think that's the biggest challenge is that if nobody comes in here today, I don't make any money. Right. So it's like always the physical demand of trying to bring people in when they want to be on their phone or want to have a more digital experience or being able to purchase something online. I would say is probably the most difficult aspect of bringing people to a physical location, but
I feel like you're in a good community for that, though.
Yeah. People want to do stuff.
And you're on Main Street,
people
which helps
get it.
so much.
Yes.
If people are even on a gloomier day, they're out I saw you yesterday. I mean, yesterday was beautiful, but she's out here walking all the time. But others will come and just for something to do, just walk around town. And what a perfect thing to just like pop in and paint some pottery.
Right.
It's so fun.
It is hard being in a basement, you know. I also built a business now that has no
store.
I have a storefront, but you can't see people doing it. So I think that's also challenging to make a lot of content to show people doing the experience. I can't use AI to make a poster because people are like, okay, well, what are we doing? They always want to see, you know, what they're going to be doing and what that looks like. So I would say that's also quite rewarding as well, to be creative when I market as well. Yeah.
We also need to talk about that. Like talking about not being digital. Let's talk about digital. Because your Instagram is popping off.
Thank you.
So good.
I feel like I have a lot of support.
You like not just like number of followers, which is also great, but like just you do so much on social media, and I feel like you get so much engagement because like all the things that you do are so smart, like posting people's work. Like how do you manage your social media, and like how did you get those ideas?
I would say the first glimpse I got into, you know, a high interacting post would be when I threw a piece of pottery and it broke in the studio. And I was like, oh, wrong item. And I like tossed it. And people were like, oh my gosh, I really love that. And I was like, I just need to be myself, show myself more. And kind of take the leap in showing my personality, which is, you know, can be scary because people are coming here because they either like me or they want to paint pottery. So, my partner is also a videographer, so I'm very grateful. You know, that's a little bit of love and slave labor, but we really like work a lot at home behind the scenes. You know, my evenings were editing. She taught me how to use a camera manually, not automatic.
I don't even know what that.
Deal.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
She's
the
like,
settings.
Me, but I don't remember.
I don't know. I always sometimes just go, okay, I'm just gonna go on automatic right now. But I think that obviously having someone to constantly make content is such an advantage. I can't lie by any means. Just like, oh, I'm having an event tonight. Can you come on down? So we live upstairs, so very convenient. Just like, can you pop in?
A few minutes.
And then I work a lot with Northern Branding Studio as well. So I'm doing a little rebrand right now. I have changed my logo online, but I haven't.
I saw,
Yes, I know. I'm just like subtly playing with it. But I think we've really locked it down now. I feel more aligned with my brand. So I think that's been making me excited as well to produce more content and showcase that. I'm adding in some other colors other than pink, which is, you know, I feel like a traitor to my own business in a way. I'm like, oh my God, purple, like what? But you know, we're getting aprons, new shirts to add to that, you know, in-person marketing component. People take their picture in their apron, like when I was talking about Slickers. I was like, I just want to wear that apron.
But that's such a good point. Creating those like memories.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And I feel like on social media, the brand is, I'd say like a large portion of what sells the business. Like it needs to be recognizable. It needs to be, you know, I'm scrolling and I see a post that has, you know, an apron with your logo on it. I'm gonna be like, oh, that was at their place. And like, you just make those connections so quickly when a brand has such a strong, a company has such a strong brand.
Absolutely.
It just makes the biggest difference. So I'm really excited to see this rebrand you're working on.
Thank you. But I'm also joining forces with someone, in case you don't know. Eva from Virgin Mango.
Okay, Virgin Mango.
I feel like we sort of.
Yes. It's in the works. So the build will happen in the next couple of weeks. So if you look at her branding as well, we kind of, you know, wanted to come together a little bit. So we are building a small cafe upstairs. Not small. I'm not saying her operation will be small. It's actually a huge operation, but small in the scope of the space, to add that to here.
So fun.
So that was like also what pushed me to kind of want to like rebrand a little bit, just to be
match.
Cohesive.
Not match. Cohesive is a better word.
Cohesive. So
very fun. I'm excited.
We're ramping up.
Yeah.
Do you have a long-term goal, or are you kind of just going, like, seeing where business takes you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I think like kind of like 3 year, 5 year, 10 year. I'm like, oh, I have absolutely no idea. I've actually been buying like other business names to think if I would have opened across like, other places in the country. So I'm like, okay, maybe that would be fun. But in the meantime, I see like I'm honestly just getting started right now. It just feels like I'm just ramping up. I have like a really great studio team of 5 now so that I can focus on growing my business. So I would say in 3 to 5 years, I see me and Eva like absolutely rocking it together.
That's
and
awesome.
having this, you know, cafe, art gallery, pottery wheel, the whole thing. Who knows where it goes? We're thinking about building like a patio out back. We can go into the parking lot. So I feel like the ideas, there's so many ideas that I'm just getting started, honestly.
Yes, it's been super successful and you've done an amazing job. Do you have any insight into struggles or challenges that maybe you didn't foresee, and how did you overcome those?
I would say I like wake up every day with a different challenge. And nothing has like put me like, oh, I'm not, you know, this is too hard, I'm not going to do it anymore. But I would say that I almost pivot kind of daily. If something's not working, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try again another month and, you know, just kind of rebrand the project in a way. I would just say one of the biggest challenging is knowing the needs of my business. I almost feel like I've underestimated myself right now, what my needs might be this summer and going forward, because I'm so used to being able to do it all on my own.
Yes.
I truly run up and down the stairs sometimes to run the art gallery during like slow times. I have a door chime, works great, but I'm so used to just thinking I'm always available, whereas I'm not always available anymore if I'm always kind of stepping in when we have 150 people paint on a weekend. So I would think that that's the biggest challenge, that I have kind of underestimated my needs, but also I have a really great team that I can rely on. So I'm really thankful, but just knowing that I can't be everywhere all of the
There's
time.
only one of you.
There's only one of me.
There's only one of you.
I'm also the superintendent in this building. So I help manage 14 residential units, 5 commercial spaces. So, you know, we could have a busy day here. And if there's a leak, a flood, I'm the first point of contact. So I think that that's a lot on someone, but I feel like I could be a property manager. I am a property.
You are.
I am a property manager now. So it's like, that's also taught me a lot, right? Like how to not panic in moments.
I feel like natural instinct is just like, okay, I gotta get it done. I gotta respond. I gotta react.
Especially if you're like kind of a type A person who like likes doing things on your own, or has like been able to do things on your own. Like the delegation of responsibility is like hard. It's a hard lesson.
Absolutely. I think I'm just starting to learn it, like ever so slightly, but it will definitely help me grow if I can delegate better. So
no, I love hearing though that you've already got a really good team that you're able to put some of these tasks on, because burnout is a real thing.
It's been, I'm really thankful for my support system ultimately that I can count on to make it happen. So
that's good.
Yeah, I'm thankful to be in my Pilates era right now. So like going to Studio Peck. Shout out to my mom, because I'm, you know, the second child. I was feeling a little neglected with the wedding, so she is supporting the cost of that, because I have a small business budget. But I feel like that's like a lot of personal time that I take for myself. I feel like
good, though. I'm so glad to hear.
I know it's like not even only is it like a workout, but it's like your nervous system where you just like lay there. I like cried one day. They're like, "What's wrong?" I was like, I'm just breathing. I'm just breathing. I'm just being quiet right now.
I'm so glad to hear that you have that, because that's will help you not get burnt out.
It's definitely a lifesaver right now. 100%.
Yeah. Another question is, if you have anyone that inspires you, that keeps you like the creativity flowing, and just like you see their posts or you talk to them and you just feel that like energy come back and excited to do what you do.
I honestly feel like on County Creative social media, I only really follow a lot of business owners, and I almost feel inspired by almost every business owner in Prince Edward County, because everybody's working so hard all of the time, and you go out there, they're always in their store. I think it's, you know, you walk by, I think I know almost every business owner. Hey, how's it going? And that's just inspiring in itself to know that, you know, everybody's putting in the work and you're not alone. If I would say I had like an ultimate role model, it would probably be my parents, because they've worked so hard. They supported this dream, encouraged me. I legitimately took 2 weeks to think about quitting $80,000 salary job, and they were like, you're gonna do it. And I was like,
got this.
okay, perfect. So I would say that they've inspired me to make the jump, but
and to take a risk.
Yeah. Which is like, thank God it paid off, but it's like
it could have not
paid off.
Yeah.
But
having people believe in you, I feel like world of difference.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have hard days and you're gonna have hard moments. I feel like as a business owner, there are definitely moments even where we're like, oh my gosh, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And it just takes one person to be like, hey, look
You're
at
doing
what you
great.
built.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing so great.
I feel like because
And it
people
pulls you
come
back.
here when they're having hard times, like this is their outlet. So I'm like, I gotta show up.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's easy to be here when I'm here, ultimately providing the space. But I think showing up for other people is so motivating because they're coming here to catch up with friends, to celebrate a milestone, you know, to connect with friends and family that maybe they don't see often. So I think that really keeps me going in a way that I'm like, I can't give up on these people. What are they gonna do? You know, like,
That's so
That's
beautiful.
really beautiful. Yeah.
Guys.
You kind of touched on this too about businesses and like being inspired by kind of everyone in the county. But if you did have to shout out one other, and it can't be, but it can't be Eva's business.
I was like, I thought she was gonna be my go-to.
Too easy.
Too easy. Yeah, that's so. But to touch on Eva, I only met her in 2024. And the rumor is, people are like, I was talking to Kelly, who owns Kelly's, and she was like, oh yeah, we hear that you're sisters. And I was like, no, I just met her. So I do feel like she would be my go-to at the end of the day. I will pick somebody else.
No, you can use her too.
Just that we didn't even know each other.
Oh, but your souls were meant to be together.
We were meant to, we were
fun.
like separated at birth. So I think that's like incredible that I met someone. Also, I left all my friends behind moving here. So I had to kind of start fresh in that way, being an adult, trying to make friends. Also, in the business world, my employees are my friends. I'm like, where's the line? We're going to like heated rivalry trivia. I'm like, this is for sure. Like if there was HR, I'm sure it would be. But yeah, I do feel like that's been really rewarding to me, Eva, just as someone that's like so aligned with where I'm at in my life. But also Ashlyn next door, who owns Prism.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
We love Ashley.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She's like getting my brain massaged. But I feel like it's like really fun to watch someone start their business. I kind of have been there since the start of her journey and know her personally, whereas I haven't had the opportunity with anybody else probably in the county, like watch them start their business. She had was well established, but taking over the space. So that could be like a great one to be inspired by as well. Just like taking the leap, right? Like you never really see people from the start. Taking the jump, and they're scared, and I'm like, you can do it, it's totally fine, like it's gonna be fine, 100%.
Yeah, got the chance to chat with her because it was so neat to hear her say like imposter syndrome when she started out, and it's like to have people like you being there supporting her, like that's so amazing because she definitely had moments of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And that would be scary. And
I feel like everyone does, right? Yeah, she's awesome.
Cool. That'll be my shout out.
Okay, we talked a lot about coming to the county and making friends as adults, which like is a very challenging thing. Like I am going through that right now, and like I'm thankful that I met some like really awesome friends, partially through this podcast too. Like
that's what happens though.
How did you meet your partner here?
We worked at Bulk Barn, and then I went to school, lived in Toronto, and then I started to kind of like hate my job in Toronto. We were doing the long distance, and then the opportunity came up to open County Creative, and I do think there was a slight push that I have this really supportive partner that would be with me. So I think it did make taking the leap a little bit easier to know that you have someone that will kind of have your back all of the time. And I moved here with kind of no friends. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't have done it without Taylor, but 100% made it easier to transition here. And then I feel like I've been a little quiet about my personal life since opening County Creative, just because, I grew up in Belleville. I feel like there's a part of me that always felt like kind of scared to be in the public eye that way. I know people like love me, but do they love everything else that comes with my life? So I don't think I was like overly public about my relationship, but I did a little photo shoot with Jane Wright, who I love. She does all my branding.
Oh my God, yes.
I would never cheat on her, except like I just love her so much. But Taylor also like I'm like, can we do a photo shoot? And I posted something online for her birthday.
I think I saw that. Yes. Yeah.
I didn't really think twice about it until I was like, wait, I haven't really shared this aspect of my life. Got like 600 likes. I got 30 plus DMs, people being like, oh my gosh, I'm so like, love to know that you're a queer business owner and whatnot. And I honestly just didn't even think about the impact that would have until after I posted it. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I feel like I'm very open with my life. And it's crazy to think that maybe I had fear about that, just like what would people think about my business. But I feel like it's come a long way, and now
I feel like it's a testament again, like you've shown up so authentically, your energy is so awesome, and I feel like people just love you, and love what you've built. So
I feel like people, can not necessarily like copy your business, but do similar things, but they'll never be you. And that's why everybody is so unique. And that's why I'm striving to push myself to be. I got a little mic for it's so scary. Don't be fooled. Those things take me 15 takes. But I am trying to share my life a little bit more to build the brand. Yeah.
I love what you said though, that even if someone tried to copy what you do, it's not going to be the same.
Yes.
And I feel like when we took over Slickers, that was a huge fear we had, that like, because it's a transition period, like somebody could come in and start their own business, and everyone was like, who's going to sit down and bake 250 apple pies? So it makes a big difference who it is running the business, who it is behind the brand, who it is driving that, because that is what makes it what it is.
100%.
It's not just this stuff. It's,
like anyone can buy this.
Yes.
Like anyone can go online and order stuff.
But
100%.
the space, the people, the creative brain behind it, the one showing up, running up and down, doing all the things, like it makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, everyone, come check out County Creative.
Yeah.
Let's paint some pottery.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Sounds like. All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you, Nicole.
Bye.
Bye.